Let's explore autistic history and the Autism Wars. This is part 36 of a series. So just a bit of a recap of where we're at right now. We are in the early 90s and coming from the autistic point of view with Jim Sinclair, an autistic advocate that was one of the founders of Autism Network International. And I'm sharing from an article they wrote and published in 2005 about the development of this community and culture. And it is quite a lengthy article, but I want to share it in full because how often do we hear from the autistic point of view in this era to such a degree when most people don't know that autistics were existing in this era and trying to help other autistics and trying to be heard, but that's not how it went down. In fact, it ended up with the autistic community leaving the autism communities, hosted forums and creating their own and launching ANI and then launching ANI listserv. And so we're going to pick up here under the section titled Space and Healing. Space and Healing. When we first introduced the division into sections, there was a lot of anxiety, especially among the parents, some of whom thought they were only allowed to post messages in the Parent Auxiliary section, or PA, even if they were replying to messages posted in the Autistics and Cousins section, or AC. There was a vigilant turf protection by autistic people who were quick, though usually not aggressive, to correct parents who posted parenting-related messages in the AC section. There were sometimes complaints by autistic people about feeling uncomfortable with the content of some messages by parents or professionals. These issues became the subjects of sometimes intense discussion, not just by the list owners and parent moderators, but by the ANIL membership as a whole. For the most part, our NT members have been respectful of the concept of and eager to learn how to behave as guests in autistic space. How do NTs behave as guests in autistic space, and what does that mean to be respectful of autistic space by them? For the most part, our AC members have been patient with each other and with NT members, again that stands for neurotypical, and have tried to be helpful when anyone was confused or uncomfortable. As the list owner who has been most active in responding to policy questions and interpersonal conflicts on the ANIL, I quickly came to appreciate the wonderful way our members have of working things out together. Working it out together. Very often, if someone asks a question about the forum policies, or if someone flagrantly violates forum policies, or if people start having a disagreement that escalates beyond the bounds of civility, other members have already stepped in and started dealing with it. By the time I read my email and find out there's been a problem, over time, the use of the AC and PA sections changed. There's much less concern expressed now about the messages being posted in the wrong section and not the other. And for the most part, the AC and PA sections now function together as a social component of the forum. And members very often post conversations about their personal lives and personal interests to both sections. We introduced the ACPA division as a way to allow space for some wounds to heal. I think the preponderance of messages now posted to both AC and PA is an indication that healing has taken place. Healing and the Autism Wars started taking place in the 90s in that space. That's hopeful. ANI quickly replaced the printed newsletter as the primary vehicle for communication among ANI members. Private correspondences, personal friendships, and visits in person have continued to occur among people who meet first on ANIL. For several years after ANIL was established, some members continued to participate in the parent-dominated public forum, or to monitor it for new autistic arrivals. ANIL members would tell them about the existence of ANIL, and often they would join, especially after becoming disillusioned with the hostile climate on the public forum. So the autism community is still remaining hostile towards autistics, even the new ones coming in, and they're experiencing that. Oh goodness, I'm glad there were autistics there to help find them and bring them over, because can you imagine going through that alone? And it's happened to so many of us alone. I know I needed other autistics to explain to me what was going on when I ran across it earlier in activism years. So yeah. A number of parents of autistic children also came to ANIL through this route, finding our philosophy more to their liking than the grief, wallowing, and cure-seeking that characterized the public forum. It was not uncommon to see posts in which one ANIL member referred to another member as having rescued him or her from the public forum. All right, so they felt it, the impact of that switchover as being rescued. That's how profoundly different these communities are. It says here, today there are many different online autism forums, some primarily for parents and some for autistic people. There is no longer a single forum that most people find first when seeking information about autism. All right, next we're going to talk about a new level of conference involvement. Ooh, and we're up to 1995 here. In November 1995, an organization for parents of high-functioning autistics held its first conference. And again, we don't use those labels, functioning labels today, but back then they were being used. So during the early stages of planning for that conference, the president of the organization contacted me and asked if I would arrange a separate strand of conference sessions that would be of interest to autistic people. I made this an ANI project, and planning the ANI strand for the conference became another topic of discussion on ANIL. We put together a program of sessions, nearly all of them presented by autistic people. The topics of our sessions included school issues for autistic children, autistic family relationships, approaches to supported living, including both ways autistic people can receive support and ways autistic people can provide support to others, autistic community, political implications of medical research, asexuality, and a panel discussion about what our autism means to us. I'm going to wrap it up here with that. It gives me a lot to think about what they're saying back in 95. We're still trying to communicate now in 2023. Whew. we're just on repeat. But hey, let's learn more in the next video. Thank you for joining me and learning a bit more autistic history.